Hello, hello. This is Teena Hughes from howtopaintonsilkdotcom. I'm just getting ready for a Zoom chat with some people interested in silk painting and others who are already painting on silk and just want to talk about their projects they're working on. So it's very exciting. Woo! Anyway, I just wanted to say a big hello, and do please click on the link to chat with me on Zoom. We can schedule a date and time. I've already got some dates set up, so that would be great. Don't be shy. I'd love to see what you're working on, and I'll always have a bunch of things to show you that I've been painting. Some clothing. Oops. Silk, of course, is very slippery, so it's sliding off my desk. Just some fabulous designs I've been making in all kinds of crazy designs, not necessarily with Gutta, mostly without a Gutta product. But let's see. I like doing really random, geometric, exciting designs like what I'm wearing. This is one of my hand-painted silk coats. And it's like, I call them Haori jackets. And I just love the effect that you can get by just using two colours. Three, of course, is good, but this, for example, is just two colours. But depending on where one colour touches the other, it becomes a third colour. So anyway, so much to talk about, so exciting. I just thought I'd show you some of the silk that I have painted and maybe talk about the fabric. In this one, this is a top that I've created. And it's a big girl top because I'm a big girl. It's blue and green with a bit of purple and some white cold wax. And I just wanted to show you the fabric. Now, this is a silk twill. So it's got a little tiny bit of stretch in it, depending on which way you pull it. But it's nice and cool, and I love it. And as you may or may not know, I normally live in the tropical areas, and right now in Australia, I'm about 2/3 the way up the east coast. So it gets pretty hot in summertime. And so I'm always looking for something that isn't too hot. So obviously a tight weave silk like Haori, I can't wear for most of the year because it just makes me sweat. But perfect for Alaska, or if you live in a cold place, if you live in Canada or anywhere in Europe. Haori is fantastic in winter because it's such a tight weave that the air doesn't go through the silk. And so it's a good thing to know. Now, this one is a top that I've been making hot pink and lime green with my usual random designs. This is just a slip-on top. I haven't finished the neck yet. This is in a silk called sand-washed silk. Now, it's really shiny. It feels very luxurious. It's thicker than Haori and thicker than twill. And it's shiny on one side and matte on the inside. I don't know if you can see the difference there. So that's the matte side, and that's the shiny side. And I just love it. It's called sand-washed silk. Some people have contacted me over the years and said that they can't find it. I don't know, it might have another name where you are, but you can talk to the people selling the silk and ask them for a silk that is shiny on one side and matte on the other side. So that means not shiny. And you can just feel it. It just feels so fabulous against the skin. I love it to bits. And I've made a lot of clothing and sold a lot of clothing made out of this particular silk, and scarves. So you can do lots of things. I've got some other bits here that haven't been ironed, but just things that I've been practicing with. So, for example, this is a cushion cover. It's not ironed. It's, as I said, it's a bit messy, but it's a cushion cover all in one long piece because it's been stitched together, two pieces stitched together with a zipper. And so you can see here, here's the zip. So I paint it flat, stretched on a frame, of course. And then all I've got to do after I've steamed it is I turn it inside out, and then I do the three sides. I stitch the three sides and it's ready to go. So it's a quick and easy cushion cover. Here is just a little bit that I was playing with, trying some new little dabbles, just doing flowers without any outliner. And there's one there. And so if I was going to turn this into something, I might then take a silk or permanent pen and draw on top in either a colour or black, because I love black outlines. And so that's fun. And then here's one I've made, oh gosh, I don't know, 20 years ago. This is one of my first tops that I ever created. And it's just got an open neck. And it's got 3/4 sleeves, and it's in turquoise and green. Now, this is, it's got little slits up the side, and I just love this because you can wear it over a tank top. Like right now, I've got a black tank top on, so I could wear this over that. And it's just because it's soft and it lets the air flow through. This is great in hot climates or warm climates. Now here, what I've done with the sleeves, because I've got little skinny wrists and tiny hands, that sounds funny. I've sewn up the sleeves and only left enough for my hand to sneak through. And I've done that because as much as I love big baggy sleeves, I got really tired of getting caught on doorknobs and other bits of furniture as I walked past. So I stitched up the edge of the sleeve and just left my hand poking out through the top where it wasn't going to cause any danger. So that's just a little tip for those of you that sew. And yeah, I just love that. That's silk chiffon, and that comes in many thicknesses, just like habitai, like every other fabric. This is just another one that I've used, or that I used to love painting on, was crinkle chiffon. So same as this, but it's totally crinkled when you buy it. And, you know, when you stretch it and it gets wet with the dye, of course it goes flat. But after you've steamed it and washed it and let it dry, it then goes back to being crinkly. So I had for quite a few years, I was making crinkle chiffon clothing nonstop. When I say clothing, I mostly make big tops, big coats like this Haori jacket, big floaty things, scarves, and it was really beautiful to work with. So that's another, if you haven't heard of, you can check that out. Now, for those of you who might be new to silk painting, I have a little demo here just to show you what I use for silk painting. Now, I use artists' stretcher bars. I'll just show you it on the back here. And you buy these in all different lengths. This is a small one, which is perfect. So if I just want to do a couple of quick little designs or make cards, for example, I can use this little short one. Now the size, I usually have the size on the bars. Oh, these are 14-inch, which happens to be 35.6 centimetres. I often get confused with sizes because I was brought up with imperial measurements. Then we went metric. Then I moved to the States. So I was back to imperial sizes. Then I lived in France. So I was back to metric. So my brain is just a hodgepodge of different countries and different sizes. So, and then what I've done here, I've just stretched it and I've left a bit on the end. I didn't cut it off for no particular reason, except I didn't feel like it. And then once I start to stretch the silk, I use these pins. Now, I call these thumbtacks in Australia. I'll get it against white so you can see. These are thumbtacks. I think some countries, maybe in the States, they're called push pins. They're fantastic to hold the silk onto the wood. And I like them because they're easy to push in and easy to pull out. Now, with the claws, which I also love, silk claws, these are called, they have 3 prongs. They're normally about $1 each, I think, plus shipping. You buy them in a little box of 12. And you can buy those in all kinds of places. They're called suspension claws or silk claws or hooks, depending on where you're buying them from. But you can find those easily online. This is a fabulous little doohickey that I use. I've got a ton of these. This is for when I'm mixing colours. So this is like an eyedropper. I can suck up one dye and then mix it with some water to get another colour, or mix it with another colour to get a different one. So these are great, and you can find these on Amazon and everywhere. And then usually I buy my dyes, or I mix my dyes, and when I'm painting, I like to paint with small bottles. So I just find these online. They're small bottles, and I always make sure they have a well-sealed lid. So you need to mention that when you're buying them, because if they tip over, you don't want them to be able to leak. Some bottle tops do not have the little padding inside to stop the leakage, so be alert for that. And yeah, so I normally hold 3 or 4 in my hand, and then I have paintbrushes in the other hand that I'm painting with. And yes, I do hold more than one paintbrush. And quite often I'll put a paintbrush through my teeth like this. And it's not pretty to look at, it never is, but I'm in another world, so that's okay. So that's what I do with the dyes. And bearing in mind that I only use silk dyes that need to be steam set as well. Now, here are some of my brushes. I use a different brush for each colour, and if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know how I lay out the paint tray, so it makes it really easy to find. And then I'm just looking at a couple of others in here. So we've got these hard brushes like this. This one is acrylic. This one is acrylic. A lot of the others are hair. But yeah, you can buy fake hair ones now that are very good. So with these, I use these mostly with cold wax, or if you're using an outliner or a Gutta. And that way, when I'm using them, it's a nice hard edge. The other brush is very soft, so they're not very suitable to the outliners. And yeah, so, and I have those brushes in all shapes and sizes, like even down to this eeny weeny teeny one. I'll hold it against something you can see it against. And yeah, so you can buy really cheap brushes to play with before you start spending big money on fabulous paintbrushes for silk painting. Anyway, do please sign up for one of my upcoming Zoom chats, and I look forward to seeing more of you soon. Okay, have a fabulous week. Ciao, ciao for now. This is Teena Hughes from howtopaintonsilkdotcom. Bye-bye.
Oh, I almost forgot. If you're watching this on YouTube, how about clicking the subscribe button and the little bell so you'll be notified as soon as I post new videos? That'd be fantastic. Okay, bye-bye.